I know a good one.
What?
Our little fucking encounter with the FBI.
Perfect.
Or not the
Let's
FBI,
do it.
but federal shit. Federal agent.
Is that not FBI?
Nah.
Oh, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. So
This actually involves Bad Touched.
it does, dude. It's a good
Perfect.
plug. BadTouchSupply.com.
Even the feds know who we are.
So I made a post. I went to the post office, dropped off orders. So I think I drove the van there. Yeah, because the van was in the post. So I just held up the orders, shot a quick photo of the van outside the post office with the orders. Nothing, no big deal. And
keep in mind, you could see the van and the post office in the picture.
that's right. And the post office has the address of the post office on the building,
Like a library. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm at the post office. I make this post, and every time I post on Bad Touch, I just say some stupid shit, whatever comes to mind. So I said something. I guess I could just fucking pull up the post real quick, and I did archive it after this, so I don't even know how the fuck to find that. Do you know how to find archive posts?
I do. Go to your profile, click on the 3 arrows. and
Okay.
there's
Oh,
archive.
archive.
Yep.
There we go. Why? Oh, stories archive. That ain't it. Post archive.
Boom.
There we go. Okay, here it is. So, yep, just normal post. And I said, orders going out. I made at JP Films get a job at the post office to get us a better rate on postage. So now not only can he fuck up all the Bad Touch orders, he can fuck up the regular mail too. Fire emoji. He's also in charge of the mail-in voting division. Proud. So
Yeah.
just made that post, and then I think it was maybe 2 days later,
No, it was
next day.
Does it say if that was a Monday? Or, no,
That-
it was like 3-4 days later.
That was September 17th when I made that post.
Yeah, it was probably
So that was
the
a-
20th or 21st.
Yeah, you're right. So that was a Thursday. I think he showed up on Monday.
Yeah.
So Monday, we're just at home working, and I was in the bathroom in my room, and I just happened to look out the window, and I can see the street from there. And I see this guy pull up and get out of this Durango, and he's like walking towards the door, kind of like checking out the yard and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was headed down here to get some coffee or water or something anyway, and walk out of my room, see JP. I'm like, did you order food or something? And he's like, no, why? And I was like, someone's coming to the door. And then I heard the knock, and so I come down here.
I didn't even hear the knock. That was weird. Too.
Yeah, we never can in
Yeah,
this house
that's
for
like
some
a right
reason.
hand, dude.
So answered the door, and this dude is there, and he has a USPS fucking polo on, and he like flashes these credentials at me that mean nothing to
away?
me. Yeah, right away. He's like, "Hey, I'm so and so with fucking, the federal USPS division
Didn't
or some
say,
shit."
hey, Alex?
Yeah, or he was like
Something that was like...
something right.
Because
Like,
I was right behind you on the step. Like,
Yeah.
where you couldn't see me.
well, he tried to get me to admit right away if I was the one that ran the Bad Touch Instagram.
Yeah.
Or he said, like, you must be Alex or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
along those
like,
lines.
yeah. He's like, I assume you're the one that runs the Bad Touch Instagram. I was like, okay. Like, I didn't know who the fuck he was or wanted to admit to anything here. I'm like, this is some weird shit where they're like, when you get served and they're like, John Preston?
Right.
And you're like, yeah? And then they serve you. I'm like, fuck this. So
Right.
I'm like, okay. Like, and then he like flashed his credentials at some point, and I'm like, what the fuck? And like, he kept asking me that, and I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, then I walk up,
And
open
then,
the door.
yeah, you walk up right behind me, and he's like, I need to talk to you too, John.
I was
And
like, what the fuck?
yeah. And then I like wouldn't admit it. He's like, all right, if you want to play games, we can play games. I'm like, I don't want to play games. I just have no idea who you are. You just fucking show up here and you're like trying to get me to admit to something. I just don't know who you are. And he's like, I already told you. He pulls out his shit again. And I'm like, okay. And like he was like really standoffish at first, and I probably was
He
too.
said fuck too, right?
Yeah, he said the F word at some point, but just was like a weird cop attitude at first. Like, you want to play games? We'll play games. I was like, okay. And
It was weird.
yeah, super standoffish at first. And then like finally he was like kind of shaky.
Yeah.
And he was like ignoring a phone call at the same time. It was just
like,
weird as fuck.
Yeah, I noticed he was shaky. Like, he didn't like confrontation.
Yeah.
And he was like having to keep it together or something, where he was like, oh fuck, like he thought we were getting hostile or something.
Yeah, and I'm probably the least fucking confrontational person there is. I just didn't know who he was.
Right.
Or like what he was trying to get me to admit I did something wrong or some shit. And because then he starts asking, well, and you guys run this company and you drop off your orders at the Peavine post office, and we're
With
like,
your black
okay.
van.
Yeah. And I thought like someone maybe complained that we weren't wearing masks when we dropped him off or some shit. And then he finally gets down to the point and he pulls out his phone. He's like, yeah, you made this post about him having a job at the post office. And we both start laughing.
And he's like, JP, you haven't even worked there in the past 5 years.
Yeah, he's like, we looked into it and like, we know he's not an employee there. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, that's the whole point of the post, dude. And so he ended up being pretty cool. But it was like kind of weird flex. I hope he hears this, because he was like, at some point, I'm sure you're going to talk about this on your podcast.
Yeah.
Like, he just kept dropping all this shit to like try to intimidate us about how much he knows about us. But it's like, it's shit that we actively promote online. It's like, that's the shit that we want people to know.
Yeah.
And so it was just a really weird encounter. And then he ended up being cool. And he's like, I'm with you guys, like, I can see you guys like support the president. You ride dirt bikes. Like, you seem like cool guys. And actually he said motorbikes, so he ain't one of us.
And support law enforcement.
Yeah. And, but then he was just like, you can't be joking about this, like the mail-in ballot shit, because like the left will run with it and they'll say that we're rigging the election, this and that. And so we're going to ask you to delete the post. Like, I can't make you, but like, if you don't, then, we might keep looking into it. Basically, like, delete the post, or we're going to keep fucking with you guys until you fuck up and we find something that we can actually come after you for.
Right.
And so it ended up being like a fine interaction. It was just really weird at first. And then I wasn't going to delete it, but I didn't delete it. I just archived it, so you can't see it anymore. But I was thinking, like, I don't really want to fucking pick a fight with the post office when we use them like 10, 20 times a day for orders and shit. So, like, it's better just to fucking archive the post and talk about it. I even
asked him, I was like, after reading that, you couldn't tell that was a joke?
Yeah, and he was like, I know it's a joke, but he said, like, they have AI that runs and it just combs everything about like mail-in voting and this and that, and then like probably some fucking nerd that does a data scientist for the USPS like flagged it as a potential threat, and then they have to look into it, and then they send him here and all this shit. And yeah, it's just like stupid. And then I put up a video that day when he came where like, if anyone didn't fucking know, this was a joke, in case you guys didn't get it the first time. And then just the other day, like, that video is fucking almost a month old now. Someone commented on the Facebook page, was like, oh, so tampering with the federal election's a joke. I'm like, dude, why do you follow this page? Like,
and yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's exactly what we were joking about, actually.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, yeah, I'm gonna be fresh as hell at the feds watching.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
Feds watching.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hey, if you're a Fed, go to bed.
Go to bed.
Podcast.com. Yeah, go to bed at the same time. Bad Touch Supply, get some gloves. It all goes back into the economy if you want the boom. If you want the economy to boom. And they're not made in China, so no Wuhan.
That's right, dude. Can't guarantee they're COVID free, but they are not from Wuhan.
Right.
So
yeah,
good times with the feds showing up at the house.
Yeah, no license plate on his car, really tinted windows, gray car,
Durango,
black wheels. It was weird. It was.
Yeah.
I even looked. I was like, that is weird. The fuck's going on?
Yeah, he was like a cop, but like not. He was like a federal agent. He kept calling himself, but I'm sure he was.
Right.
But it was just weird that how he like flashed his credentials. Like I would know what a legit set of.
Whoa, easy, James Comey. You can't come over here.
But like you could have just fucking flashed any piece of paper at me, and I would have been like, okay, like
oh damn,
that's legit.
did you get that at Junkies? I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. That's funny. Well, hopefully you're listening, bro.
I wonder if he is, dude.
He probably checked out our page at last. He probably saw the video we posted for sure.
Yeah, he just kept saying shit fucking that you guys are gonna talk about this on your podcast, and I know you fucking drop off orders here. I'm like, well,
fuck yeah, we are.
The picture of the van was in the post. The address of the post office was in the post, and like you searched, or he's like, he thought it was a flex that he knew that you were JP Films.
Yeah, John Preston, right?
And he's like, JP Films, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, he was fucking tagged in the post. It's more impressive that you knew his real name.
Right.
than it's JP.
Yeah. Yeah, so funny. Everything he said, you could find from Bad Touch Instagram.
Yeah, totally.
Except for my real name. Mm-hmm. You could find everything, even the go to bed.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Look,
we're like, oh shit, we're scared now. He fucking knows we have a podcast?
No.
Oh shit, I didn't want anyone to know.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
No, whatever you do, homie, don't tell anyone, because the lower we get on our listens and views, the more money we make.
He called my mom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Crazy.
He left a voicemail for me a few hours before he showed up here, which I didn't see until later, or I would have called him back. But yeah, he called my mom, then my mom was calling me. The federal agent's calling the house. I was like, yeah, I already talked to him. He was
Yo, hide the guns, Mom. No. Don't talk. I'm not going to talk to you for a couple days. I'm running.
I swear, nothing's wrong. I'll reach out when I can. Gotta go. So yeah, dude. All right, we're fucking back. Let's wrap it up.
We're back. Thanks for listening, guys. Tell a friend. badtouchsupply.com. Go to bedpodcast.com. Get some merch. Get some gloves, hats. I still will hold my end of the deal. If anyone donates $100K to us, I'll get the logo tatted on my head. So, bunch of talk in the streets. Someone's gonna do it, but no one's sacked up yet. I bet you fucking Raha had $100K he could throw away. He'd come and do it.
That's right. He would. He would. So, make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review on the fucking podcast app. Oh, dude, we should check reviews real quick before we go.
Nice.
I bet there's some fucking negative ones, or there's none.
What do you think?
I would just think that someone would have been like, "Oh, you fucking guys haven't posted in a month." Like, you know,
right.
Looks like they went to bed.
A bunch of people. I was shooting a wedding for this. Dude, I've been all day yesterday. I was saying seagulls. I thought his last name was Siegel, but Segali.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, can we get the seagull sign over here and stuff? Like, let's take photos with the seagull sign." No one looked at me or said anything, and then everyone was like, "Mr. and Mrs. Segale." I'm like, oh, fucking 6 hours I've been saying it wrong. You know? Sucks. Is there any?
Yeah, there's a couple. I think this one was left on the wrong podcast.
Really?
Well, it's titled "I Love This," so that's a red flag there. And the name is Aria, Aria, Monkey Sleep. So I love to fall asleep to this and sit there in my bed with my stuffed bear and think about the stuff you say with a sad face.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that input.
Review of the week.
Review of the week. So leave us a rating review on the podcast app, and make sure to tell a friend about the Go to Bed podcast.
Tell a friend about the gloves too. Volume.
That's
every
right.
shipment.
Value. We're dropping tomorrow. By the time you hear this,